Hey, Stephen, it is a time when a lot of people are learning together as Ireland and all of the honorary Irish people around the world are celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Just in a couple of days, it's St. Patrick's Day. We're doing that a little bit early here. So I got my Guinness. I would imagine you've got a Guinness there.
I prepared this one earlier, so absolutely.
Where's how can I get this thing open? I've got something screwy here about, oh, there we go. Now I can open my Guinness properly. And I want to pour this thing. And then I want to have a nice toast to my friend Stephen McPhillamy. I
see you're going old school with the bottle.
I'm going old school with the bottle. I don't have a keg of Guinness nearby, but right now, that's a nice thing. Look at that beautiful color, Stephen.
Perfect. Sláinte, Rick.
Sláinte, Stephen. Meaningful eye contact. Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Okay, let the travels begin. I met you, Stephen, when you were a guide up in your home where you I think you grew up in Derry, didn't you?
Yeah, up on the border there, yeah.
Way up, a very hard scrabble corner of Ireland, I think you could say. It was at the center of a lot of the violence during the Troubles when you were just a tyke. And you were guiding groups around looking at the modern realities of Derry, and people who were loyal to the King and Queen wanted to call it Londonderry. You ran a youth hostel there, a wonderful youth hostel. And we sort of stole you away in a certain way and talked you into leading our tours. That was 20 years ago or something, wasn't it?
Thank God you did, because I had just studied history at university in Queen's University in Belfast. And I was on track to be a teacher like my mother and like my brother and like many generations before. And then I got introduced to this wonderful concept called tour guiding. And now I spend half my life in Ireland, half my life in Switzerland, half my life on the road. You know, it's pretty remarkable.
And you are a great tour guide, and you ended up, now you live in Dingle, my favorite corner of Ireland. So we're going to start in Dingle. This is Dingle Peninsula, the far southwest tip in Ireland. And we're going to be driving around. It's a little evening tour I took with a local guide in Dingle. And we're driving around what's called Sleigh Head. And it is just so beautiful and full of history and full of culture. Let's just take this little ride and we'll talk about it. I'm Rick Steves in the far west tip of Ireland, far west tip of Europe, really. This is Sleigh Head, and I'm with Colm Bambury. Colm.
Hey, Rick.
Keep your eye on the road.
I guess so.
And this is a dramatic spot. There's the Blasket Islands out there, and those were a remote community that lived there until 1953 when they were finally brought onto the mainland. But I find this so evocative here on the far west of Ireland, because ahead of us, Colm, we see evocative reminders of the difficult life in the 19th century here in Ireland, when the local people were living under British rule and had quite difficult lives.
Indeed, right. You see ahead of us the stone wall patchwork field system, and then some ruined cottages, deserted in famine times.
So the population of Ireland was higher and then lower?
It was pre-famine, was in the region of 8 million, and some years post-famine was down to 4 million people.
So the famine, either by starvation or emigration, cut the population of this island in half. What's the population today?
The population today, Rick, is 4.77 million.
So it's amazing to think the population of Ireland was essentially double 150 years ago. And here we have, up there you can actually, if you know where to look, you can still see the furrows of the fields that were planted with potatoes. And then in that horrible harvest of 1848, no potatoes. A blight hit the potato crop, and that spelled doom for millions of people. So here we are, and we're going to get out now and enjoy a little bit of the fresh air on the far west tip of Ireland. Happy travels. Stephen, this is a good reminder when you're driving around Ireland, and it does make sense to drive around Ireland, I think, if you really want to get into these scenic corners, because that's where the population is sparse and the public transportation would be equally sparse. And if you have your own wheels, you can just go out and adventure, but you got to make a point to get out of the car and feel the wind and hear the birds and take a little walk.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you could drive that yourself there, and you need to get out. You need to make various stops along the way. You could do that in 45 minutes, but you're better to do it in 2 or 3 hours and get out and stop. If you have the time and the budget, hire a local guide like the excellent Colin Bambury there, or
Yeah.
any of the great guys in Dingle, and get that local flavor, because these men and women have grown up there and their ancestors have grown up there, and they can give you lots of little extra information. And of course, Rick, what you're seeing there with the patchwork quilted fields is what Johnny Cash described as the 40 shades of green, because when he came to Ireland, he was inspired to write this song because he was blown away by the 40 shades of green, and hence he wrote the song, and even mentioned Dingle in the first few lines of the song.
It's so great. And for me, it's such a joy to be able to partner with guides like you and the guide I'm with in the video. And I can work on our Ireland book. And, Pat O'Connor and I have worked on this book. It's in its 20th edition now. And we do this drive that you said takes about 45 minutes, but we have it right down to the 10th of a kilometer, narrating it, because I've had a chance to pick the brains of all the different guides and put it into this book so people can just take off and have that information just like that. Okay, now we're going to go to the south coast of Ireland to a town called Kinsale. And Kinsale is renowned for its beautiful restaurants. It's the self-proclaimed gourmet capital of Ireland. Let's check Kinsale out, and then we'll have a little huddle. Kinsale.
Hi, I'm Rick Steves. Now I was just sitting down at an amazing fresh fish lunch here in Kinsale in the south of Ireland, a place called Fishy Fishy Cafe. And I just gotta say, I love the energy of a place that's filled with locals having a good meal. And I asked the owner, what's the secret? He said, local, local, local. And I like a place that celebrates the fishermen. These are the guys that catch the fish. And in fact, there's Christy, Dave, and Desmond.
3 generations of Hurleys. It's amazing to be eating your fresh fish lunch, and you got the guys who caught it right there honored with photographs above you.
That's a great presentation. That's a fantastic restaurant. Martin and Marie Shannon, who run it, really great hosts. Many great restaurants in Kinsale, as you said, they say they're the gourmet capital of Ireland. Dingle would disagree, but Kinsale's definitely up there, and the freshness of the food, it's spectacular, especially the seafood.
Oh, the ingredients.
60 years of fishing, 28 years of fishing, 2 years of fishing. Thou shalt have a fishy on a little dishy. Thou shalt have your dinner when the boys come in. You're eating well in Ireland, and that's a misconception a lot of people have about cuisine. And boy, you come to Ireland, you eat great. This is the what is the name of this dish again?
That dish is the taste of the sea.
The taste of the sea, and it certainly is. And
God, that taste of the sea was good. I want to go to Ireland right now and have that. And then you always have this amazing bread.
you've got the beautiful soda bread. And
Stephen, the soda bread, what is it about the soda bread? I cannot find anything like that outside of Ireland.
Well, the soda bread and all the food in Ireland, it's the ingredients, the freshness of the produce. When I was growing up, we always had these great ingredients, but we never had the imagination and the flair to present it in a wonderful way like it is now. And I, as you said, I think it's because people have traveled now and come back, and we have these wonderful creations. And at our bed and breakfast in Dingle, when we serve up the soda bread in the morning, 9 times out of 10 people ask us for the recipe. They're like, have you got a cookbook? Have you got a recipe book? I want to make this at home. The butter doesn't taste the same at home. And we're told that Ireland has very rich soil. It's rich in calcium. So the cows are grazing on this super tasty, extra rich grass. And therefore the butter, the milk, and the cheese.
Oh, it's like cake. The soda bread. Tonight I wanted to think, what am I going to eat like for Monday night travel? And I just got a little bit depressed because I cannot duplicate what I have in Ireland. I need to go to Ireland to celebrate this cuisine. So we're just looking at it on the video. But
hopefully you've got a guidebook that can connect you with places where you can have a meal you'll never forget.
I got to say, I'm heading off Friday. I'm going to be in Europe for 40 days and 40 nights. And every one of those evenings, I'm going to be with a local expert in 10 different cities, finding restaurants like this and sharing them with our travelers. Stephen, over the years, I've really gotten more and more into the restaurant listings. It's fun in the research to find these restaurants and stay right up to date because it's a big part of your travels. And when you're in Ireland, when you're in Dingle for 3 nights, one night at least you should go to one of the top end restaurants and really splash out, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and every town in Ireland now has got some really incredible restaurants. So we're very proud of them.
You should be.
See? And a
Fishy fish pie.
fishy fish pie. Happy travels.
Yeah.